So back on this RG560, talk to Phil. He doesn't want a fret level, he doesn't want a refret. We are going to go with, I'm just going to adjust the 5 frets that need work. The indentations and that I'm going to leave in there. I've said to him in a year or two that is going to need a refret because there won't be anything left to level. He seems to be quite happy with that, so we're not going to go doing any of that now, but I'm going to show the 5 frets that need attention. I've marked them all up in black pen. Couple there. With the behind the areas where they are coloured black. So you've got those 2 frets there, you've got 1 here, you've also got 1 down here, and you've got 1 fret number 2 on both edges there. I'm going to turn the camera on the guitar just so I can show you that the neck is straight, the guitar is, well, I'll show the guitar, the neck's straight now. I've altered the truss rod. I do have the correct Ibanez truss rod tool. I have a set of 4 of these. 3 different sizes, I believe. I've got 1 duplicate, but 1 fits the Ibanez. The Japanese Ibanez going with the Gibson type nut rather than the Allen keyhole, which is a lot better in my opinion. I'm just going to take the it's called a notched straight edge. We have a fender scale on this, F fender scale, which is 25.5 inches, and basically all we're going to do is we're going to place this on the fingerboard. I've altered the truss rod, and you may see from there that that neck is absolutely straight. Right down the middle there. If you want to zoom in, there are no gaps, perfectly straight. And what we do then is we go across it with a fret rocker. Now a fret rocker basically rocks, you place it over 3 frets at a time. It's got 4 different sides, lengths of side. So it's got 4 sides, all different lengths. And you do 3 frets at a time. And if it rocks, you determine that the centre fret, or the middle fret, is high because it's rocking. So I shall turn the camera, I shall point it at the guitar, which is about, here you go, it's about in the middle there, is it? Yep, looks pretty good. And we shall just zoom in a little. There you go, you can see the whole neck there. So, fret rocker, 4 sides, milled absolutely straight. This is the expensive one that is milled perfectly, it's laser cut, milled perfectly straight. On the fret there it's fine. Here, listen. That edge is high, middle's fine, this edge high. So we're going to trim these 2 edges here. We're going to recrown as we do it. The rest of them are fine. 3 frets at a time, so we turn over. I've already checked this. Go to the next one that needs attention, which is the 7th fret, all down the centre. Check the edges. They're fine, centre, rocking. That's the second one. That's those 2 that need doing. Again, checking down the entire length. I've already gone down and checked the length. Checks all the frets everywhere. The next one that needs attention is fret number 18, I believe, which is here. Edges are fine, middle, listen. Really high there, fine there, oh, it's high there, sorry, fine at the edge. Oh, it's a tiny little bit high. So the whole of fret 18 needs doing, 19, 20, 21, next one's 22, just on the edge here. Don't know if you can hear that from there. Not that high, but it is rocking. And fret 23. Hear that? All across the whole length, just about, except for this edge here. So we have 1, 2, 23, 22, 18, number, what did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, number 7 and number 2. 5 frets need levelling. We won't just level them. Once we've levelled them, they're going to be flat. We need to put that crown back in them. I'm also going to re-crown just ever so slightly these frets down this end because they have quite a lot of wear. I'll just bring guitar in, and if you can zoom in on that, I don't know what kind of focus you got there because I've already got the camera zoomed in. Quite a bit of wear down these frets down here. In fact, there's wear on these frets right up to fret 11, which a guitar has been played 28 years, is expected to have a lot of wear on there, so nothing out of the ordinary. Phil has told me to leave it. I would normally say now would be a good time. But if he wants to leave it, that's absolutely fine. I imagine it'll be back in a year or 2. It will need a refret, but that's good. as far as I'm concerned. So I'm going to crack on, get these frets done. Once it's done, I'll have a back off, look at the electrics, I'll get all the tuners reset, and we'll give it the full, once I've got the frets all recrowned and polished, I'll give it the full setup. We'll get the tremolo set up properly. I know the intonation's fine on the tremolo because I've already done it. I'll get that tremolo sat properly, I'll get it floating properly, we'll get the strings all stretched in, so when you play it, no matter how much you use the tremolo, you're not going to go out of tune. So come back for that, and I'll see you in a bit. So I've levelled the frets, I've recrowned the frets that needed recrowning, and I've also extra crowned a few that had a few divots in them. And they've still got some divots in them. Myself, I would have had a lot levelled or refretted. But we should be okay, should get another year or two's play out of this. You might even get 3 years, I don't know. And I understand that, you know, if you're going to get more play out of it, why fix it now? But when it does, when this does need more work, it's going to need a refret because you won't have any material left. Or you won't have enough material left to do a fret level and recrown. So next time I see this probably it will need a refret. But I'm going to show the frets all polished, recrowned and polished. Like that, it looks fantastic now. Frets are all superbly polished there, all nice and smooth. There are a few divots in there, in a few of them. I've recrowned all the ones around this area, up to about fret 7 I've actually recrowned them anyway. So they're a lot better than they were. I would imagine if this is 28 years of play and it's still going strong, you could get 3-4 years out of this before it needs a refret. So yeah, now getting on to my problem with the neck. And when I mentioned earlier, an earlier part of the video, that the E string was basically almost hanging off at this end, or this the top side of the fretboard. I obviously didn't mean just the E string, I meant all strings. It's like you had a big gap at the bottom, about 5mm, and no gap at the top. It means the neck is not lined up right. It means the neck needs to go. If the neck's there, that's vertical. The neck needs to go a bit more that way to bring this over, so the strings slip over. If you say, imagine your 6 strings are all there like that, you need to slip over so they become central. So you need to come over a bit. So the neck needs to basically tilt or swing that way. How I'm going to do that is I'm going to put a little shim here in this side of the neck pocket, just a 1/2 mil shim, just to make that little bit of difference, and hopefully I can get it back in. I'm going to loosen all the screws, because that's what needs happening with this guitar. The neck needs to swing over this way, ever so slightly. So I'm going to put a little shim in there, and that should do it. And if that does it, we get all the strings lined up right, we get these all tightened back up. I mean, it could be a matter of we could actually take the neck off, fill those up, 4 holes, get it lined up where it needs to be, and re-drill those 4 holes with these screws. But I can't be bothered to do that right now. It's not something I've been paid for one, but I think I'm about to do it just with a little shim in there, because there is a gap this side of the neck pocket, so the neck should be slightly more that way. If I can't do it, we're going to make do with it. I think Phil has made do with it for 28 years, so it's not going to hurt if we leave it as is. But if I can get that neck just that little bit straight, it is about 1/2 degree out, according to my reckoning. That's why the E, it's not slipping off, it's right at the edge here, and the higher E string is about 5mm in. We should have a 3mm gap each side, so the neck needs to go, just needs to go that way slightly. I'll see what I can do. I'm going to go and get the back off the electrics in a minute, because Phil says he soldered that, and if you listen, something flapping about in there, that will be probably a big hunk of solder. So I'm going to go in there and have a look. He says, don't laugh at me soldering, because it's not very good, he says. Well, I'll probably not laugh. Well, I probably will, who knows. But I'm going to go and have a look in there now, see how bad it is. If it needs tidying up, I shall tidy it, get my solder iron out, tidying it up. But if we're going to get away with it and everything's fine, I will leave it as. So that's it. I'll have a go at the neck, I'll have a look at the electrics, and I'll come back with an update shortly. Right, back for a moment or two. I've just basically taken a straight edge at each sides of this guitar neck, just to show where the neck is actually finishing, or where it's pointing to in relation to the bridge and the pickups, and I think you'll now be able to see better. Look at the pickup here, and I've marked it in black pen. I've covered it in tape, marked it in black pen, and this edge of the neck is coming, it's touching the pole pieces on the pickup. This is a good 3 or 4mm off the pickups. It means the neck is pointing down towards this way. It means this top E string, well, all the strings are high, but they're about 5mm from the edge here, and they're right up the edge there. So I need to get that neck tilted that way. So I'm going to put a shim in this side here and try and get on with it. So I'm going to leave that tape on there, Going to remove the neck, get a shim in there and see how we go. Just wanted to show that and explain it a bit better, because we should have the same space each side of the pickup and each side of the bridge. We're overlapping the bridge here, we're not there. If I could get that a little bit more central, it'll make the strings sit better, the guitar will be a lot easier to play. So just wanted to show you that. If you can hear any other noise in the background, it's my wife. She's got a client, she's doing someone's dreadlocks tonight, and she's been loudy McLad. Even though I've got 2 doors shut, I can still hear her. What can I tell you? Anyway, back soon. Something else, Phil did mention this. He did say a lot of people think this is an RG550, but it's not, it's an actual 560. Well, if you look at the neck, RG550, but if you look at the body, see, Ibanez uses the same necks on a lot of their guitars, especially the RGs, but if you look inside the body cavity there, or the neck pocket there, it says 560. This is an RG560. What I'm going to attempt to do is, I'm going to attempt to put a little shim just inside this side of the neck pocket here, very small. Maybe I'll use 2 small pieces of tape, and I'm going to try and get the neck in there and just get it to twist slightly that way a bit, to move it that way, and if it works, we'll get the neck where we need it to be. So I'll crack on with that. Let's see how we go on. And the neck is shimmed. I've shimmed it in 2 places, and I'm really pleased with the result, and I'm going to show you the result in a moment, but I'm going to explain what I did. I've shimmed it in this corner to bring the neck more this way, and I've shimmed this edge here. I've used 3 layers of tape in this corner, this edge here, but I've staggered the tape, so it's a long piece, a short piece and a short piece. So if you can see it just in there, what it means is the neck is now, in relation to what you can see there, where the neck was that way, we've now moved it a bit more that way, and I'm going to show with a steel rule how much we've moved it. We moved it a good 2 millimeters across at the bridge end, which is absolutely fantastic. It means the strings will sit more evenly on the guitar, and I'm going to get the best view I possibly can for you here, but it won't be perfect because I've had to move my camera. But let me see how straight we can get it. Right, we're in the middle there. That's pretty good. And hopefully you're going to be able to see. I'm going to zoom in just a little. We're looking at this top bit. Let's do it this way. And what we're looking at is these black marks here and here, because this is where the neck was. And I'm going to show you where it now is. We've got a long steel rule, straight edge. And I'm just going to line it up with the neck, the side of the neck there, and you can see there we've come 2 millimeters inside this side. Absolutely brilliant. And this side, take it down the neck, and we're overlapping now. We are still not touching the pole pieces, but we're just about touching the pole pieces there. I don't know if you can see, can I get my arm out of the way enough? That is a result. It's probably not perfect, but it's not bad. We'll definitely come across. This is the best one though. That's fantastic. We made at least 1.5 millimeters this side, maybe 2 millimeters. Let's see where we are. Follow that line all the way down. We've definitely moved the neck that way. That will bring the low E string a little bit more over, and the high E string a little bit more over that way. That's going to give us a better set. So really happy with that. I'm now going to get some strings on and going to start on the setup. So, pulling a long shift today, but I just wanted to show this guitar. I've got the strings now lined up and I've got the neck lined up. It is just 9:05 now. If you remember, when this guitar came in, the low E string here was basically up here and the high E string was across here. The neck was right out of whack. I've got the neck lined up now. I've given it a right good tighten, and you see now the strings are balanced perfectly. We've got the same space, the high E and the low E from the edge. I don't know when the guitar was last like that, but we've got the strings exactly where we need to be now. I've not set it up, not stretched the strings or anything yet. Just got the strings on. I'm going to be setting up the tremolo in the morning. I'm going to tighten up the springs right up. We're going to get this blocked off perfectly level. And we're going to set the tremolo floating nice. Then I'm going to set the neck. I'm going to put a little bit of relief in my neck. We'll set the action. We'll set it to round about 1.75 mil, I imagine, on the low E. Between 1.5 and 1.75 mil. Try and get as low an action as we can without any fret buzz anywhere. We'll put a little bit of relief in there. A little bit more than was in it. Also the string tree, or the string retainer bar here, the angle on these strings coming off a nut was too low. These bits are screwed right down. We only need a tiny little bit of break from a nut. We need to just break that angle just a little bit more. We don't need to go mental with it. So I'm leaving this string tree, it's called a retainer bar, isn't it? Could leave it a bit higher than it was. Just need to lower it down this side a little bit and that'll be it. So the guitar now is, that neck's never been that straight on that guitar. Absolutely beautiful, really pleased with that. It was my big worry on this guitar that the neck wasn't lined up right. Tried to explain it to Phil, you might have explained it to a bloody slug. He didn't have a clue what I was on about. He kept coming out some right rubbish. 5th fret this, bloody 14th fret that. I thought, what's he on about? He ain't got a clue, is it? Tell you what, Phil, you play the guitar, leave the fixing things to me. Good boy, that makes sense. So that's it. Had a good crack with Phil tonight, so Phil is a great bloke, and now he's got it on video. I can never deny that now, can I? Unless I cut that bit out. Now I've said it, that makes me look right queer, doesn't it? Oh well, never mind, I don't care. Praise the Lord, that's what I say. So I will finish setting up this guitar. I've had a long shift in here today. I've done a refret on that Greco, and I've done this. I've got. I could finish this off tonight actually. See how we go. Michelle's in the kitchen. She's doing someone from come home from Nottingham to some dreadlocks. He's got long ears. He wanted dreadlocks pouring in. If anyone don't know, or if you don't know, my wife does dreadlock maintenance, installation, creation, whatever. She does extensions, the whole shebang. So if you wanna, if you've got dreadlocks, or you want dreadlocks maintaining, or you want dreadlocks pouring in, go and check Tied Up in Knots, KNOTTS, and check my wife out. She's very good. So that's it. She's been a noisy thing all night, but I've managed to get this guitar up to where I wanted to get it to tonight. I might just finish this up. I might have another hour in here. It's 9:10. I might work till 10 o'clock because I've only got, like I said, I've only got half a day tomorrow. I've got stuff to do at church tomorrow afternoon, and I'm helping out at the food bank and that tomorrow. So a bit of voluntary work never hurt anybody, did it? So I will crack on with this guitar tomorrow. It's looking fantastic now. I'm really pleased with how that neck's gone. So I know Phil is going to be over the moon when he gets it back. Guarantee it won't play. It'll play the best it's ever played when I finish with this tomorrow. Once I've got it set up properly and I've got that tremolo floating properly, I'm going to give these strings 5 or 6 stretches till there's no stretch left in them. Then when we hit that whammy bar, use that tremolo, no matter how many dive bombs you do, or pull-ups or whatever, it will not go out of tune once I have set it up. I'm a Floyd specialist. So Floyd, frets and neck specialist. So I'm going to crack on, get the setup done. I will come back tomorrow once it's all done. I don't think I'm going to do any more video tonight. I might do the work tonight, but I'll do the rest of the video tomorrow, and I'll come back and give you an update, show you how we've got on, and Phil can come and pick it up. So back soon. Good morning, and here we are, and it's a bright sunny day, as you can see, with the light shining on my face from the front window there. And the RG560 is finished setting it up this morning. It came in just for a once over, just to have a couple of frets looked at. It basically just came in for a once over, just to be looked at, and I recommended that we do some work on the frets. It would need an intensive setup to cover the frets, especially the 5 that needed levelling. I've worked on more than 5 frets. I've dressed a few down this end that had quite a bit of wear, tidied them up best I could. The frets are now level, they are all polished. The fingerboard has been cleaned. There's still some residue of oil still coming out the top there, you might see. That's not going to harm it at all. So the full setup, said all the tuners tightened, front, back, blah blah blah. I've set the intonation on the Floyd Rose. I've set the Floyd Rose floating. I've got all the fine tuners just above centre, so we can adjust both ways if we need to. I've fixed the issue with the bushings on the tremolo on. We'll put new bushings on there. And I checked the electrics. Even though it's not very tidy in there, it actually worked. The soldered connections are solid. There are no cold joints in there. I've also set the string retainer just a little bit higher. It didn't need to be as low as it was. It's causing too much break angle on the strings. We only need a little. We just need a break angle, not a massive one. I've played the guitar this morning. It plays sweet. We were slightly ringing out on the top notes on the IE. We're not now. I've raised the action by just a tiny bit on the treble side, a quarter of a turn of this bridge post here. We've got a little bit of relief in the neck, not too much, a little tiny bit more than we had. The action is nice and low and the guitar plays so sweet. Sounds amazing. These pickups are great. I've had a twang this morning. Oh, I know where we are. Got on tuner. So sounds so nice. Sounds absolutely beautiful. What a great looking and great sounding guitar. I'd like to keep this, but I'm not going to, obviously. So that's it, another one finished. I'm sure Phil is going to be happy with this. The biggest thing, the best thing about this guitar is, I just remembered this, can't remember, I don't know, I forgot that. The neck was offset, and these strings were basically right over on this side and almost slipping off this side. I've managed to reset the neck by shimming in this corner and on this corner, just with a couple of thicknesses of tape. In fact, I've got 3 thicknesses of tape on this corner, about a centimetre wide, and I've got 3 lengths of tape on this side, going with long, short and shorter to just give a little step stagger. It's managed to pull that neck over, back over this way slightly to bring them strings perfectly in line. So I'm sure Phil is going to be absolutely pleased with that. Everything works fine, the guitar stays in tune, the tremolo is floating. It's a fabulous made in Japan Ibanez RG560 guitar. What a wonderful guitar. You will find that this has the RG550 Wizard neck, which goes on a few of the higher end models. The body is definitely a 560. How do I know that? Well, by the ink stamp inside of the neck cavity. What a fantastic guitar. No wonder he's had it and kept it for 30 years. It's in good condition. It's not pristine, but it's not going to, don't want to be. If it's pristine after 28 years, you've not been playing it right, are you? I would suggest 2 or 3 years down the line it's going to come back in for a complete refret, but as it is, we're going to get much more wear out of that. I'd imagine that they are a hard nickel silver fret wire, probably Hosco Japanese, because the hardware on this is Japanese. You've got Goto tuners, which I would have expected. I imagine, even though this is an Ibanez tremolo, it probably likely is made by Goto or made at the Goto factory. So, fabulous guitar. I've enjoyed working on it, but it's time for me to move on to something else now this project is over. So, as always, be good to each other, and I will see you soon.